Color can make you look away or draw you in. It has the power to create an emotion as powerful as music can. Color helps us to instantly understand our environment. It is very important to our everyday life. It is all around us all the time and helps us to relate to our world even if we generally take it for granted. Okay, before we dive into the details of color and color theory, let's first look at what color is. From Oxford, color is the property possessed by an object of producing different sensations on the eyes as a result of the way it reflects or emits light. With that being said, let's dive into color theory. The color wheel is the easiest way to understand how color relate to each other as we see them. They are divided up into the primary color, which is made up of yellow, red, and blue. Secondary color, which is the combination of the primary color, example, orange, green, and purple. The tertiary color are the blends between the primary and the secondary color. Now let's dive into the color terms that concern us as a graphics designer. First, let's look at what color times is. Color times are the times that indicate what state the color is in. Number 1 is the hue or just pure color. Hue generally describes the basic or the pure color. For example, blue, green, yellow, red. These are hue. Now let's look at the second term, which is shade. A shade is a hue darkened with black. Now watch as I make a shade of green. Alright, this is Pixel Lab. So I can go to color and select green. I try to use this to position it so we have a pure hue of green. Alright, I think this is green enough. Please watch as this color here changes. Then I want to make a shade of green. So I come here where I can add black to green. So I shift it down to create a shade of green. Therefore, this will be a lighter shade of green, a darker shade of green, a more darker shade of green. Alright. So you could select any other color in the scheme. I could select blue. Then I produce a darker shade of blue, a more darker shade of blue, till we have a black. Alright, let's continue. The third color terms that concerns us as a graphics designer is tint. A tint is a hue lightening with white. Let me show you what that means on the Pixel Lab app. Alright guys, let's make a tint of red. Remember, red is a hue. To make a tint of red, we make this closer to the white region. Since tint means adding white to a hue, now we add white to a hue which is red by taking this closer to the white region. Now watch as the color changes from this point. Okay, since each of the color that appears there are series of the tint of red. Okay, that means here will be a darker tint of red. Now, the more we move closer to the white region, we have a less darker tint of red. Alright, let's continue. The fourth color term is saturation. Saturation refers to the intensity or purity of color. The fifth color term is value. Value refers to the lightness or darkness of color. To source out and effectively use these colors, color schemes and harmony are adopted. They give an insight to organizing color. Number 1, we have the monochromatic scheme. This is the various shades, tone, and tint of one color. For instance, a range of blues varying from light to dark. The second scheme is the analogous scheme. These are hues that are side by side on the color wheel. This type of scheme is easy to apply to design projects. The third one is the complementary color. These are opposite on the color wheel, such as red and green or blue and orange. The fourth color scheme is split complementary color. The split complementary color is any color on the color wheel plus the two that flank its complement. The fifth color scheme is the triadic color scheme. The triadic colors are any three colors evenly spaced on the color wheel. Now, let's look at the symbolism of color. The symbolism of color enables you to know which color to use in a particular design and which color to avoid in a particular design. The symbolism of color is also known as color psychology. It is common knowledge that color represents meaning. For example, blue is associated with calmness, and a specific blue is utilized by Samsung as a complaint. Note that each culture and generation will have different meaning for color. Ensure you understand and correctly identify your targets before choosing design, color, or element. There are, however, standard universal color meaning. For example, red. Red can communicate many different ideas depending on its context. Because red is associated with fire, it can represent danger. Since red is also the color of blood, it is considered an energetic, lively color and also associated with matter of the earth. That is why the color of love is red. In some Eastern cultures, red symbolizes good fortune and prosperity, and it is the color worn by brides on their wedding day. In branding, red often communicates strength, confidence, and power, and it is a highly visible color. In graphic design, be it in the use of color or layout, it is always about balance. The more complicated the color on the scheme, the more difficult it is to achieve balance. Ensure you pay attention to how the color interact with each other, especially when it comes to the ease of reading text and the mood you are creating with the color choice. The 60-30-10 is a basic three-color palette rule that is sometimes applied to design. Sometimes, for a particular design, you can search the net for the particular color to use and also the psychology behind the color and you can proceed to sites like color.co to search for the monochromatic color combinations or the triadic color combination or any color combination. The link to the site will be in the description below. Thanks. This is Bright from BuyClick Concepts. See you in the next video.